Yo guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to talk about the custom tactics that I use in the Elite Division. So yeah, I want to share those with you guys. And a lot of you have been asking me because last week we made a very big push. We built a very big team. We had Ginola, Neymar, all these big boy players, and we made a push to make our skill rating nice and high. And we did end up finishing top 70 in North America. So we're going to play probably in the qualifiers in 2 weeks if everything goes right and we can do it. So I want to share the custom tactics with you guys that I've been working with this week. And we also have a custom tactics video on the channel with the post-patch tactics. That's a really good video as well. Those are going to be different tactics than these tactics. These are going to be the tactics that I strictly use in the Elite Division, guys. And if you look at my team right now, you're like, Nick, how are you playing with this team? Because it's not my team. It's being moved around. I had a team last week. Then I sold the team to play with promo cards. Try those guys out for you guys the other day. And now we're back to not having a team because I'm not playing FIFA till tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'm going to build another team. So don't mind the players in the team. We're going to really be talking about the formations and the tactics and what's really working. And you guys can let me know if it works for you guys. So if you enjoyed the video today, drop a thumbs up. Without further ado, we're going to get into it. So we have 4 tactics today, and that's why I didn't want to post, the name of the formation in the title, because I'm using 3 different formations in these tactics. So just keep that all in mind, guys, as we go on. So the main tactics that I've been using this last week or two in the Elite Division has been the 4-4-2, both variations. And I'm going to talk about why this is so good and what is great about this formation, okay? So I decided to try out a different formation, which was the 4-4-2. And I wanted to try it because the 4-1-2-2 I was using a lot. And against some players who were playing 4-2-3-1 and 4-4-2, it was very narrow and their center backs were blocking a lot. So I figured if I could go with the 4-4-2, which is a very balanced formation, I could get players out wide. I was going to balance everything. So we really have been playing about 50-50 with both of these. One is a lot pressure heavy oriented. The other one is a lot more kind of balanced. So I'll talk about when I use different formations. So let's start with the ultra attacking, which is the pressure. Now, when I play FIFA, guys, I don't like to play like a you-know-what. I like to go out. I like to score goals. I like to really suffocate the opponent. I don't like to play this slow ball possession, trying to get wins for screenshots on Twitter. I like to log on and go high power, full pace. So that's what this formation really is. And when you look at it, the depth and the width is not actually that high, but the combination of the pressure on heavy touch and the forward runs is going to change everything forever with the way you guys play FIFA. And the reason for that, this combination seems to trigger some high usage of attacking with all of your players. Now, there is an if with when I don't use this formation, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So we've got 41 width, pressure on heavy touch, 55 depth, balanced forward runs, and then all this other stuff is pretty equal. 6 players in the box, 3 corners, 3 free kicks. So let's talk about kind of the instructions and kind of what's going on. So one of the strikers is going to play target man. The other one is going to play on mixed. Now, both are going to be on stay central. And you want your 4-4-2, for me, strikers to stay on stay central because this will help you utilize the space on the wide position. Your left mid and your right mid will occupy the fullbacks, and your 2 strikers will occupy the center backs. That's very important, guys, when you're attacking. And I would say put the guy on target man who is more of a cam. It's important that you do not want to play with 2 strikers that are kind of next to each other all the time. You want to have your strikers going back and forth. I know I'm looking like Pep Guardiola right now, but you want to have your strikers kind of going back and forth and one playing under the other. And then, it almost like transitions into a way of kind of a 4-2-3-1 wide. But so in this case, Dybala's the target man and Fekir is going to be the striker. So that's the instructions with the strikers. So the wide guys, one of the wide guys, and preferably the one with high work rates. If you guys are playing this formation, I would really recommend having a wide player on high work rates. This Carrasco is better than like top tier meta cards because he's high. So he really does what I need from him in the 4-4-2. So we have him on comeback, stay wide, get in behind, and get into the box for cross. And really, I only recommend putting this level of instructions on a player that really can do this, which would be they have the high work rates, because otherwise they're going to be running around like a crazy bozo and not knowing what to do. If you put a medium player on these instructions, they're not going to know what the hell is going on. So I like using that. And then the other one, in this case, the other week I was using Mbappe. This guy was on completely basic, but you can use the instructions on this side to really go against or go with whatever the work rates are of this other wide player that you choose to put here. And then in terms of the center mids, they're both on cover center. So we kind of have the middle locked up, and then they're both actually on stay back. That is going to be interesting to a lot of you guys because you say, Nick, isn't that really defensive? You have 2 center mids on stay back and a comeback. But what you guys have to remember is that in this formation, we're playing pressure on heavy touch. And pressure on heavy touch is crazy this year. Your players all go forward. They act like idiots. So for a while, I was playing pressure on heavy touch with only one center mid on stay back, which is usually how I play FIFA. And it was too much. I had two center backs left and kind of a center mid half the time. So we put both on stay back. Usually with both on stay back, we at least get one to stay back. And then center backs on stay back, wide backs on stay back. So the fullbacks are on stay back. I had before step up on the guys, but step up was leaving me a little bit too vulnerable to the counters. So this formation, guys, I'm telling you right now, it plays crazy. And so there's some times where I don't use this formation, and that sometimes would be against professional FIFA players. I don't really use this version against guys that seem really knowledgeable about the game. Anybody that's super composed with their left stick or their passing, I try not to use this formation against, because once you break the pressure, it is quite easy to you really have to rely on your manual defending with your center backs. And so what I use against like these top players is I actually use a really similar 4-4-2. We've got 5 on the players of the box, 2 corners, 2 free kicks, and then I use forward runs and balanced. Forward runs and balanced. We still have the forward runs on, but we have balance. We don't have crazy pressure. And then in this case, again, stay central, target man, wide player on basic, come back, stay wide, get into the box, your crosses on that player, and then stay back on fullback. So it's quite similar, guys, but it is a little different. And what the biggest difference is that one of the center mids is not going to be on stay back anymore. Because you're unbalanced, you don't need both on stay back. You can have one center mid kind of going forward, and I actually recommend this because if you don't have a center mid going forward, you're going to actually really miss out on some attacking runs and attacking opportunities. So make sure you do have one center mid on this 4-4-2 defensive. I guess it's not defensive, but your standard 4-4-2 on balanced. Okay, so then we have 2 other formations, guys. The other formation that we have is the 4-1-2-2 narrow formation. Now, you guys might have seen this video and another tactics video. If I'm playing a guy who maybe is spread out, like if they're playing 3-5-2 or 4-2-3-1 wide, sometimes I'll actually go to this 4-1-2-2 narrow because I can really kind of combine quick fire passing in the middle and break them down that way. So I think this is a really good formation to use in the right setting. I mean, this game, FIFA nowadays is so tactical, guys. So that's why we have 4 tactics set up. And this is really like the first time that I actually proper invested in my tactics, and I really kind of went hard with trying to figure out what works best. So we've got basic on all the front 3 players, nothing crazy with instructions. And the reason why I like it like this is I like to trigger a lot of runs like L1, R1. I like to use the player lock. When you have basic on your 3 attackers, it really kind of lets them act in a normal setting. They're not going to do anything you don't want them to do. Center defensive mid is on stay back and cover center. The wide center mids are not on anything special. And then both fullbacks are on stay back. They're both on stay back. So it's a very standard, narrow formation. It really can work against the right opponent. And sometimes, there are a lot of people that play narrow in FIFA. So anybody that's playing 4-3-1-2, 4-1-2-2 narrow, sometimes what you guys can do is just match them, right? If they're beating you and you're using 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1, you just switch to this 4-2-2 narrow and you just counter them right away. Last, now guys, this is off. This got changed for some reason. I don't know why. Let me edit this real quick with you guys. So this formation, guys, yes, you might say, Nick, are you a rat? This is the close out the game formation, okay? This is the 4-2-3-1 formation. This formation, I tried the 4-1-4-2-3-1-2. The reason I didn't like this one necessarily is it's a little too wide. It's a little too wide. And the problem is sometimes when you're trying to close out the game, if somebody's team pressing, they actually kind of mark all your players. So the 4-2-3-1 narrow, okay? And this is to close out games. This is literally, if I'm in the elite rivals, I need to get my skill rating. You'll probably see me use this if we do play in the qualifiers when I'm closing out a game. I will probably switch to this formation. And the reason for it, you're not on drop back. The problem is a lot of people think that, when you're trying to win a game to go ultra defensive or on drop back, that's not the approach because you're going to get swarmed and you're going to be sitting in your box. So you don't want that to happen. So that's why we're on balanced. We've got a little bit 10 width less than the standard, 10 depth less than the standard. We've got 50 to 40, 50 to 40. And then the build-up play is on balance. We're actually on direct passing. Now, I like direct passing because I really feel like it's a way where my team is constantly checking in for runs, but sometimes I feel like possession is too slow and too defensive. So I do like direct passing. I've enjoyed this new tactic this year. 45 for the width, 5 for the players in the box, 2 for corners, and 2 free kicks. And in terms of instructions, we've got basic on everybody. We really do, guys. We have basic. I don't even have comeback on the wide players because sometimes if you're doing too much comeback, your players, again, get too in your box and it's too defensive. So you don't want to do that. We've got cover center on both of the center mids. We've got stay back on one of them. The more defensive one is what it should be on. And then on the fullbacks, we've got stay back on both. So again, what you guys notice actually about my tactics is that they're not that crazy with instructions or anything specific, because I feel like balanced stuff is really good this year. I feel like you don't want to overdo it with instructions. I don't know. I just feel like these formations, guys, have been like a huge key to my success. I think in my last like 50 rivals games in the Elite Division, I think I've only lost 5, maybe 3 to 5. I've been on fire. So the 4-4-2 has been really good to me. The reason why I like the 4-4-2 against most players is it's suffocating. And what I would recommend that you guys learn is a lot of how to press people. Like when I use this formation, I'm pressing like crazy. Even when I'm using not the pressure tactics, but the 4-4-2, I'm second man pressing with the R1 button. I'm moving around like crazy. I'm trying to annoy the hell out of my opponent and suffocate them. And what I will say about the 4-4-2 is that if you have any type of god tier players, you know, you're talking your Neymars, your Mbappes, your Ginolas, those types of players, this formation is going to be incredible for you. So try it out. In the 4-4-2, the main setting of style of play that I like to play is wing play into the middle. I think that really works the best. And obviously, your ideal thing is you've got 2 strikers with 5-star, 5-star. I think 5-star weak foot is massive in the 4-4-2. 4-2 too narrow. A lot of players with good passing stats. That's going to matter a lot. Good short passing stats on a lot of these players. And then this is the closeout formation, 4-2-3-1. This is the closeout formation. So guys, if you enjoyed the video today, drop a thumbs up. And thank you guys so much for watching my content, man. Let me know if any of these tactics work for you guys. You guys can tweet me, put in the comments. Let me know how you guys get on, man. If any of these formations work for you guys. Thanks for watching, boys. See you guys later. Peace.